Hello, my wonderful engineers. Today we're going to be making our 3D Blanky model. This is going to be a little action figure that we make, kind of like a pop figure, the ones that you see in GameStop and Toys R. Well, Toys R Us is gone, but kind of like a little toy. We're going to design it using. We're going to add to it like things like hats, gloves, sneakers, faces, whatever we kind of want, maybe hair, things like that. And if we like how our model comes out, then we can 3D print them. So the first step is we're going to go on Tinkercad. So hopefully everyone is pretty familiar with this process by now. We're going to go on tinkercad.com and it should have you automatically log in. If not, you can log in with your school Gmail account, and all of you are at this point in my classroom, so that should not be a problem. I'm going to open up this, and this has some of my Blanky designs already in it. So Blanky is a blank slate. He is a model that you can kind of put in, a model being a 3D shape that you can take right out of this sidebar. So when you guys first start your assignment, and let me rotate my camera and fix things around a little bit. So these are some examples of what I made. So I made a non-copyrighted rabbit character that has no affiliation with Warner Brothers, I think. I made a nice little clown guy, a little Halloween pumpkin man, and a little crewmate. So the process for making something like this is really simple, and this is kind of an open assignment for you guys to do whatever creative ideas you guys might have. They give you a lot to work with, so let me explain how you guys can get started on this. So you should go to the right where it says Basic Shapes, this sidebar that we've been taking all of our objects from. We can click here where it says Basic Shapes and see different kinds of objects. And we can go to Characters, and then we can scroll down until we find Blanky. So you could also use Astrobot, by the way. I'll talk more about that in a second, but here's Blanky right here. So Blanky is just a kind of blank slate character, and you guys can be free to do whatever you want with your little Blanky. So maybe you want to give him some sneakers. Oh, these sneakers aren't really the right size, so let me resize them so they're a little bit better for my character. Let me rotate my camera to make sure they fit on well. And I'm a little too far zoomed out, so let me zoom in. And now let me hold shift and, nope. Let me hold shift and drag my camera a little bit. Let me zoom in a little more. And I am on Chromebook, so this is the same thing you guys are working with. I want to get this guy's shoe on. So now he has a little shoe. And I'm going to copy that shoe. Actually, I want to really get zoomed in a little more. So I'm going to go down like this. I'm going to hit shift, put both fingers on my clicker, and drag right over to him. I'm going to zoom in even more. I'm going to rotate this. Why am I so... Okay, I know why. I'm going to rotate this like this. I'm going to hit shift and put both my fingers on, and I'm going to drag. I'm going to hit shift and both my fingers on my buttons and drag down to move my camera back down to his feet. There we go. Now I got a nice view down here of his feet to work with. Alrighty. So let me select that shoe. Make sure that's on pretty good. I'm not going to be too focused on this. I'm just going to make this a little sloppy. Actually, I'm going to copy paste this. But yeah, so the idea is that you can drag objects from the sidebar, like sneakers, like eyeballs for his face, maybe hats and other things. So I put a pumpkin head on one of them. There's a couple of hats to use. Maybe you can use a subtraction, like put a big rectangle at his feet to delete his feet and give him some chicken legs. You could put a mustache on him. You can do all sorts of things to customize your Blanky however you want. And something I really encourage you to do is to not only play around with the shapes they give you, but maybe make some of your own shapes. But this would be the idea. And I know some students have already played around with things like this a little bit. And what I really encourage is for you guys to make maybe some character that you recognize. Maybe you can make like Super Mario or something. Maybe you could take this beanie, subtract this propeller off the top with like, just put a rectangle hole there and just delete that. Make the hat red, put an M on it, give him a mustache. You can make like Super Mario, anything you guys kind of want. So the idea is we're just kind of customizing our Blanky to be more of a character. So now I have this funny little man, and he's my Blanky, and I can give him more and more. And you can do the same thing to Astrobot if you want. So you could use Astrobot as your base model if that's something that you want to do. So I could have given him chicken feet, and you could just go through, and there's more than just these character objects. We could also use, basic shapes, and we can go to scribble, and maybe you can draw something. So maybe I want to draw like a wristwatch for him or something. So I could just do something kind of round. And this would actually be better made with shapes because this is a really simple shape. I don't really know if this looks like a wristwatch right now, and I could take something like this that I draw, and now I have that as an object, and I can like shrink it down and put it on his wrist, and I'll make it brown. But the idea is that you guys could take these shapes and decorate your Blankies however you want. And again, some examples that I spent a little bit more time than this guy on are I made the Among Us character, I made Bugs Bunny, but a little overweight, and I made an animated clown. I don't want to spend too long just having you guys watch me put this wristwatch on, but that'll be the idea. And it's not going to be perfect, and I didn't check it from other angles, so I'm expecting when I rotate this camera, I'm kind of expecting for it to not be correct from other angles. So let me be a good teacher and make sure it's correct from every angle. So now he has this big, thick wristwatch thing on his arm. And yeah, so this could be like a Blanky that you guys submit to me. And maybe, you can also change Blanky's base color. So on this Among Us guy, he's red. So maybe I want a Blanky who is, blue for whatever reason, or like green. So you could also change your Blanky's base color. And that's the whole assignment. It should be really simple, but it's also something that you could put an infinite amount of work into. Make it as nice as you can. And if they're really nice and they're really unique and original, and you like them and I like them, then we can go ahead and print them. In terms of your grades, to get 100 on this, I'm making a few requirements. I need to see that you did at least one rotate somewhere and at least one resize, and I need to see that you put at least like 45 minutes of effort into this, So it needs to look like you put effort into it, and it needs to have at least one rotation, and everything else should be pretty easy. But I do want to make sure you guys are using that rotate tool that we've used in our first lesson. Alrighty, so this will be an example of like a Blanky I'd like to see. And if you gave me something like one of these in the background, that would definitely be, 100 bonus points and probably printable even. Especially if you gave me something like this Bugs Bunny. He came out so nice. All right, so that's going to be it for this video. If you guys have any questions on how to make something like this, feel free to shoot me an email, ask a question, and of course, we'll go through this whole process in class together. So this is mainly for students who need to make up this work or who are going to be out of class. I look forward to seeing you all, and that's going to be it for now. Bye, everyone.